Hello, welcome back to the Project Hercules Diaries. This is what the garage looks like. This is the aftermath of an entire day spent trying to fire up the bike, with rags all over the floor to soak up the oil, with little catch cans for the oil that we spilt, with battery chargers around for charging the batteries and cables, and all sorts of random tools and bits all over the desk. Did we manage it? That is the big question. Well, as you may be able to guess from the colour of those pipes, yes, we did. We've had a really successful day today. In fact, it's been a really good weekend. So yesterday, Nick and Emma came. And Matt popped in as well to help me out with the electronics, which are just under there. We spent all morning doing a bit of diagnostic and troubleshooting. We had a couple of problems which I've spoke to the manufacturer about, and they've been very helpful, so we hope we're going to sort those very shortly. But in the meantime, we wanted to run the bike this weekend. I know we said we'd run the bike again this weekend because it's been over a year, so we put some bypass wiring in and reassembled the bike so we could try and start it. Now, we've had a really good success today, because it's the first time the bike has started off its own batteries that are on the bike without an external battery. It's the first time the bike has started with its own starter motor, which is on the bike without an external starter motor. And it's the first time everything's run as a self-contained unit, apart from the electrics being a little bit of a jury rig and the external fuel tank there. Come on camera, focus on the fuel tank. Everything is self-contained, which is great. So how did we get to where we got to? Well, after we decided to run bypass wiring and just get the bike up and running yesterday morning or yesterday lunchtime, we got it all together. Nick and Emma came round, and we didn't quite manage to start it yesterday, and it was almost as though at top dead centre it was wanting to kick back a bit. We thought maybe the timing might be a little bit advanced because we're not cranking it as fast as we did before, but we couldn't just do it before everybody had to go home. So today Tim and Cheryl came up, and Matt popped round with the Ginger Ninja, and Bob came round as well. And we had lots of heads and lots of enthusiasm, particularly Tim, because once you get him going, he's like a little mini whirlwind. So the first thing we did was to put a separate battery across the electronic ignition so that we absolutely guaranteed we were getting a good spark, one that Tim brought with him. And we fired up the engine with a big fat spark and our own batteries here. And around this side of the bike, we bust the timing chain, just snapped it completely. So we figured it probably was a little bit advanced, and with a slower cranking speed, that was the problem. So we had to fix the timing chain and then retension the timing, not the timing chain, the starter motor chain. And you can see this chain gets a lot of abuse. It stretches quite badly because that wasn't that loose 3 or 4 runs ago. So having sorted that, we just decided it was a very simple matter of retarding the timing slightly, which is on the other side of the bike. It's ever so simple to do. All you have to do, under the timing cover, there's 2 cap screws. You undo the cap screws or loosen them, and you rotate the aluminium plate with the magnets on, and then you tighten the 2 cap screws. Unfortunately, you have to take all of these off here. In order to do that, you have to pull this plate off, which means taking the exhaust off, and it's a bit of a pain. You then pull out the wires for the electronic ignition, making sure that the washers and the bearing cases stay in place on the ends of the shafts here. But it's all good. We've done that at least twice. So we retarded the ignition quite a bit, and it ran lovely. And then we thought we could make it a bit better, so we just advanced the ignition sort of halfway towards where it was to start with, and we got it to run really nicely, and in the end we even got it to tick over. So massive thanks to Tim and Cheryl, massive thanks to well, everyone really, Bob, Nick, Emma, Matt, Ninj, and of course my good Lady Janelope, for keeping us fed and watered and putting up with it all. So the garage is a bit of a tip. I'm going to tidy that later. I'm not going to put any videos of the bike running on this video. I'm going to put them up separately a little bit later this evening or possibly tomorrow. But they are coming, I promise. I just need a bit of an edit, and that is it for now. So as usual, thank you for watching. More updates will follow.